And Democrats called it the war on women. It was their political weapon during the campaign, but now will Democrats confront the real war on women, the one going on right now in the Middle East? Republican congressional candidate Martha McSally, the first female fighter pilot to fly in combat, served in the Middle East. She joins us. Nice to see you.
Good to see you, too.
And your race is not yet called either. You're in the middle of a count?
Still counting.
And what's the separation about?
It's less than 1,000 right now, but every day it's kind of up and down.
All right. Well, okay. Well, let's go to this so-called war on women. First of all, let's admit that men in the United States are not perfect, that things could always improve here. But you've traveled the world. There's a story about what happened where a Syrian woman holding on to her passport where it shows she's veiled, and she's unveiled. The picture gets posted on a website, and there's the picture on the website, and it was taken down by Facebook, and it was taken down by Facebook because the explanation was that the content violates Facebook community rules, meaning that somebody objected to it.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
Well, this is just an example. I mean, there are women all over the Middle East. We're seeing it, Yemen, Tunisia, Egypt, that are using social media to show what's really going on there and to try and help mobilize others and to get attention to what the plight of women really is over there. So absolutely inappropriate that it would be taken down. And I think it's back up now, is what I heard.
But it's back up, and Facebook has apologized. But it's sort of interesting that the knee-jerk reaction, at least, to remove this picture, because there were people where she was living that objected to an unveiled woman, and so they didn't want that on the Facebook page.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me, again, having been over in the Middle East and Saudi Arabia and Afghanistan and all sorts of places in Africa. Doesn't surprise me, but very disturbing that Facebook would actually be willing to take it down.
It's hard to imagine when you grow up in this country, things so like the education, that women couldn't go to education. There's a story recently that the 14-year-old Pakistani girl was shot in the head because she dared to confront the Taliban on education.
Right. It's just extraordinary. I mean, the real war on women is what's going on and over in these places where you have women that are honor killed after they've been raped, where they can't go to school, they can't leave their house, they can't travel. I mean, this is really what we should be fighting as far as the war on women go. We do have it well. We have incredible opportunities here in the United States. But this is certainly a reminder in many countries in the world that women are really treated as property. Their lives are in danger. Young girls, of all ages, and this is very, very serious. This is the war on women.
It's so horrible, though, that it almost seems unbelievable. I mean, the stories that you hear about women, a woman will get raped and then she'll get murdered because she's not a clean woman. I mean, it's like the stories are so bizarre to us that they seem like that people are making them up.
Yeah, but it's real. I mean, I've met women who have been in those situations in those countries, and it is very real. I met an Afghan woman here in the United States who told me if she couldn't get asylum because she had been raped by a relative, then she was just going to kill herself. And she said it in a very matter-of-fact way because she felt like there was no other out. This is the serious threat that these women are facing in their countries. We
took on the record to Saudi Arabia with former First Lady Laura Bush, who was on a breast cancer awareness trip, and it was astounding because women couldn't even go to have a mammogram because they couldn't drive themselves to go get the mammogram, and they had to have permission from their husbands to have a mammogram, and if they weren't married, they had to get their brother or their father, and then if they needed a surgical procedure, they had to get permission again, and then the fathers and the brothers didn't want anyone touching them.
Right, and then you can't have a male doctor.
You can't have a male doctor, and they can't go to school, and women can't go to school in these countries, so you can't get a woman doctor. I mean, it's just an incredible situation.
Absolutely. I spent a year over in Saudi Arabia, and as you know, I mean, I took on our U.S. servicewomen being treated similar to them while we were over there serving.
What was it? Tell me again what you objected to the way they required you to dress?
Well, it was a number of things, but over time it was a classic case of bureaucratic policy creep. So it was first put on the Muslim garb optionally, and then they said put it on and put the headscarf on if you're asked to, and then it was sit in the back seat of the car, wear the abaya headscarf, always be escorted by a male who was supposed to lie and claim you as their wife instead of your commander or fellow serviceman. It was just totally inappropriate. In the U.S. military, we were doing it to ourselves because it's what we thought the Saudis want us to do because we were over there trying to be culturally sensitive. It was totally inappropriate. I tried to get it changed for many years, filed a lawsuit against Donald Rumsfeld, and eventually prevailed.
Well, I'd say that, I mean, over there it really is a war on women, and I don't want men to think that just because it's so much better here that they don't have room for improvement in this country.
No, we still have a lot of issues here, for sure.
Yes, but it's profoundly better than other places in the world.
Anyway, and one of them is to get more women in Congress, and people can still help me at MarthaMcSally.com.
There you go. All right, well, we'll be watching to see what happens in your race. Thank you, Martha.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Coming up.